What's going on, everybody? JT here, and today I'm going to talk to you about all Gen 4 mythical and legendary Pokemon coming to Pokemon Go. There are a lot of them. There are 9 legendaries and 5 mythicals, which is pretty crazy. Now, before we begin, I have to say that even though I'm going to go over all their stats, none of this is set in stone. Like, this is what I'm getting from Pokemon Go Hub, but unfortunately, these are subject to change still because they're not officially in the game yet. Alright, so let's kick it all off with the creation trio, starting off with Dialga. Dialga is a Steel and Dragon type Pokemon, and he looks absolutely fantastic. He's the temporal Pokemon, which is more like a time kind of Pokemon, like Celebi, really. And yeah, his max CP is going to be 4,654. That's huge. His attack is 302, his defense is 242, and his stamina is 200. Pretty solid dragon Pokemon. I'm very excited for him. I'm really expecting either him or the next one, Palkia, are going to be the first Gen 4 legendaries that come out. Next up, we've got Palkia, which is a water and dragon Pokemon. He is the spatial Pokemon, and he looks absolutely phenomenal. His max CP is going to be 4,559. His attack's 308, defense 247, and stamina 180, which is really cool because what I heard from this is, with the right movesets, this could be better than Kyogre, which is pretty crazy. Like, I think Kyogre is already pretty good, and this looks like it's going to dwarf it, so I'm very excited for him. And lastly, we have Giratina, which is honestly my favorite of the 3. He's a Ghost Dragon type. His max CP is going to be 3,965, attack 206, defense 247, and stamina 300. All around, looks more like a defender Pokemon, which is kind of sad, but I still love him. This is also his alternate dimension form, which is way cooler than his normal form, which is this right here. I cannot wait. And with those 3 out of the way, I'm gonna get some food right now because I haven't eaten all day and I'm really hungry, so let's get some barbecue. So I made it to Smoky Bones, one of my favorite barbecue restaurants, and speaking of barbecue, we also got a legendary Pokemon that kind of fits this. His name is Heatran. Heatran is a really cool Pokemon. He's a Fire and Steel type Pokemon. His max CP is going to be 3,521, his attack is 251, his defense is 213, and his stamina is 182. Overall, pretty decent Pokemon. I really don't see this being a big meta-changing Pokemon, but he's still going to be fun to have, so yeah, can't wait. And speaking of can't wait, I cannot wait for this barbecue. Whew, man, that was really good. I love barbecue. It's probably my second favorite food behind ramen. Now, some of you guys might not know this, but there was actually 2 trios in this generation. There was the Creation Trio, and then there was the Lake Trio. So let's get into those 3. Now, the first of the Lake Trio is Oopsie, and yeah, he's gonna have a max CP of 2316. He's gonna have an attack of 156, defense of 270, and a stamina of 150. So definitely more of a defender Pokemon. Not a bad looking one altogether. I kind of like him. The next one was Mesprit. Mesprit's gonna have a max CP of 2825, attack 212, defense 212, and stamina 160. So he's gonna be more of like a neutral in the middle kind of Pokemon. And then there is Azelf. Azelf is gonna have a max CP of 2945. 270 attack, 151 defense, and 150 stamina. So he's more of the attacker of the 3. And honestly, this one's my favorite out of all 3 of them. I like Azelf a lot. Now, I forgot to mention that all 3 of these are psychic types, which is pretty cool. I mean, none of them are going to be that meta-relevant, I don't think. Maybe Azelf because it's a high attacker, so it could be good for a psychic attacker, but even then, without the right moves, I just see them as being like Pokedex entries for me. And also, it feels weird that they're legendaries because they look like mythicals. Like, they look like Mew and Celebi in terms of their body size and like Jirachi and all them. Like, honestly, it's weird. Now, next up we have Cresselia. Cresselia is a pure psychic legendary. It looks kind of like a moon Pokemon. It's really cool. Its max CP is 2,777, attack is 152, defense is 263, and stamina is 240. Now, it's kind of sad because I really like Cresselia. I like the design. I really think it's a cool Pokemon. Unfortunately, in the current game, it's more of a defender, and that's kind of useless right now because we cannot, at this current point, put legendaries as defenders, which seems kind of sad because I would like this to be more than just a Dex entry, but as of right now, that's all it's going to be. Now, the last of the legendaries that we're going to show off is Regigigas. Regigigas is pretty freaking cool. He was the 4th Regi that was ever introduced because in Gen 3 we had the 3 Regi trio, and then in Gen 4 they were just like, by the way, there's a bigger one that you need all 3 of them to unlock. So yeah, very happy to see that he's coming to the game. He's going to be a pure normal type, max CP of 4,955. 45 more and it would have been 5,000 exactly, and that would have been really cool. The attack is 315, defense is 231, and stamina is 220. So all around a very solid Pokemon. I would say In the main games, he was really strong, but he had this ability that after 5 turns, that's when his like true like power came out, because he had to like build up or something like that. They basically halved his stats for a little bit, which made him kind of useless because he didn't want to have this guy out there for only half the time. So I don't know what they're going to do with Pokemon Go. I mean, there's plenty of time before we're probably ever going to see him, and by that time they might actually add abilities to the game. So yeah, honestly though, I absolutely love this Pokemon. I don't know why there's so much hate for him. I actually kind of like him, so cannot wait for this one. With all of those legendaries out of the way, let's get to those mythicals. Now, the first mythical we're going to show off is Manaphy. Manaphy is an interesting mythical. It's a pure water type. Its max CP is going to be 3090. Its attack's 210, defense 210, and stamina's 200. All around, it's going to be a pretty, like, neutral in the middle kind of mythical. That's kind of like how all the mythicals are at the moment. And yeah, like, I'm kind of excited for this one. It was never really one of my favorites, but I do like the design. And it's the only mythical that can actually lay eggs. And when it does, it makes Phione here. Now, Phione is basically just like a different breed of Manaphy. I really didn't understand why they did it this way, but yeah, the max CP is going to be 1945, and its attack is 162, defense is 162, and its stamina is 160, so it's basically just a weaker Manaphy. But yeah, I mean, cute design all around, but I just don't see any of these getting much play besides being like a collector's item. Now, this next mythical is one that I am most excited for. Like, out of every single one of them, I think this is the best, and that's Darkrai. Darkrai is an absolutely beautiful Pokemon. I love its design. He just looks like a big living nightmare, and I love it. He's a pure dark type, max CP of 3,404, attack 285, defense 198, and stamina 140. So all together, very good dark type Pokemon. If they give him the right moves, he could be the very best dark type we'll have in this game for a long time. So fingers crossed on that. The downside is, since he's a mythical, you're probably only going to get one, so fingers crossed we get a good one, because my mythical luck has been just terrible as of late. And here we have Shaymin. Shaymin is basically like a little grass hedgehog mythical. It's going to have the same exact stats as Manaphy and maybe probably Mew and Celebi. They're just going to be 3090, 210, 210, 200. Pretty all-around decent Pokemon altogether. I will say, though, they didn't add his alternate form in here. He has like a Sky form, I believe is what it's called. And those stats could change when he becomes a Sky form, so we'll see. Altogether, again, probably just more of a trophy than anything else, like most mythicals, but altogether, I can't complain. It looks like a decent Pokemon. The last, but certainly not least, mythical that we've got is Arceus. Arceus is the god Pokemon, which is really cool, but, like, I don't know how they're going to add this one, because let's just go over stats real quick, and then I'll go into why. For one, he's a normal type. He's got a max CP of 4,598. His attack is 262, his defense is 262, and his stamina is 240. Pretty solid mythical altogether. That's a really good one. Now, my only thing is this is, he's got tons of different forms. Now, they all look exactly the same except for his colors change, where when you give him a different elemental plate, he becomes that element. Like, you'll give him a water plate, he'll have his normal white body, but his little symbol on his body turns blue, or red, fire, you know, with all the different elements. And I don't know how they're going to add that. Now, if they add the plates and you can give it to him and change his typing, I guess that could work. But yeah, this is going to be kind of a rough one, and I definitely don't expect to see this for a very long time, because yeah, Arceus is going to be like one of the trophies that you want to get in this game. So yeah, exciting, but I just don't see how they're going to add it for a while. Exciting, but I just don't see how they're going to add it for a long time. And with all those out of the way, that is it. Out of all of them, I have to say I'm most excited for Palkia, Giratina, and Darkrai. Those are my, like, 3 tops that I'm looking forward to. Like, I am looking forward to Arceus, but I don't see that coming for a good 2+ years, if not 3, because, like, again, he's the god Pokemon, so I just don't know how they're gonna add him. If you like this video, please smash that like button, show me some love, subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell icon so you know when I upload, and comment down below which Gen 4 Legendary and Mythical are you most excited for, because there's a long list to choose from. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.